to get out there and meet people. Like I said, I attended the prayer breakfast with you guys. That was great. I attended one of the Young Catholic Professionals event here in Houston.
Those are fun.
Those are a lot of fun as well for their speaker series. So I have to say it's been a lot of good fun, and still kind of, like I said, still figuring out the city or refiguring out the city, where to drive, where to go, but it's been good.
Houston's been growing a lot.
It has.
Anyone here would tell you that. Even since I moved here not that long ago, it's been just exploding. And so I'm sure there's a lot of new streets for you to find.
It's like you say, within the last 4 to 5 years, Houston's grown so much. Imagine what's been more than a decade. So
yeah, and so the Catholic community here, I'm just absolutely proud of, because Cardinal DiNardo has done a wonderful job as a shepherd, and there are so many Catholics of all ethnicities, all tongues and nations and tribes, and all here in Houston. It makes for a very vibrant, very active, very diverse church that we are blessed with, because not a lot of other places in America really have that going for the Catholic community. There's a lot of places where the church is shrinking, closing parishes. Here, we are blessed. DSF Sunday was, for some churches, was just this last Sunday. So do not neglect your Diocesan Services Fund donation. If you get that envelope in the mail, or you get that second collection at your parish, do not neglect that, because we need to support this Catholic archdiocese that is doing so much good and actually making a difference for the secular people of Houston. This is a place where the church has a good reputation, where we are interacting with non-Christians all over the place and actually drawing more people into the body of Christ. So do not neglect to support the Archdiocese and your local parish. Speaking of local parishes, we were at a couple different local parishes. I was at St. Joseph's downtown, just outside of downtown, 6th Ward. And you, David, were at St. Maximilian Kolbe.
Yes, I was. So that's my home parish.
And we were selling raffle tickets, because that is, the big thing that the radio station's doing right now.
Kind of one of our big things.
One of our big things, trying to give away a Cadillac. Do I have that behind? No. We took the banner down because I've got to take it to all the parishes.
I know. So it's a great event, and just a shout out to all the parishioners there at St. Max. Thank you. And probably the same at St. Joseph's. Thank you very much for buying tickets.
I got a great response at St. Joseph's. Father Victor Perez, the pastor there, was very welcoming. And even though it happened to coincide with DSF the Sunday, they were still letting me come. And I got a great response from the parish. They all came by, and I sold a lot of tickets. And a lot of people were like, several people did not know about AM 1430, and so I was able to evangelize a little bit and say, "Oh yeah, this is the Guadalupe Radio Network station," and they went out to their car and turned it on.
Yeah, so same for me. So in that area, 96.1 is what I pointed out to them. So our FM station on 96.1, I told them, look, when you get into your car, just put it on 96.1. See how it sounds, and so clear, and so just leave it on that state.
Well, you're going to make the rest of the audience jealous, because Wyatt, you may not know this. We have an FM translator station in the Jersey Village area, FM 96.1. So anyone out there in the Jersey Village or Cypress area, as you travel up 290 around the Beltway, that we have that FM station that serves that local area. So, all the people outside of that, they're going on the AM dial. Right. We reach, Baytown to Sealy and Woodlands to Galveston. They're on the AM 1430, but FM 96.1, if you're in the Jersey Village area or Cypress, around St. Maximilian, St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, Christ the Redeemer, try it out.
Yes,
I bet you'll like it.
Yeah, so I was really happy to tell everybody there, and they were all really surprised and happy about that. So thank you. So we're trying to reach out to more people.
Yep. And so if we come to your parish soon, I want you to come and shake my hand or shake David's hand or one of our volunteers, because we just love getting to meet you when we're out and about, and it's always good for you. Put a face with a voice sometimes. Funny thing about radio, and Wyatt, you worked in TV, so you might not have gotten this as much. But I've worked with a lot of radio hosts, and it's all the time. The listeners always say, "Oh, you're not what I pictured," because when you hear a voice, you're picturing something in your head. You might not realize that you're doing it, but then when you actually see the person, and this happens to me too. Like right. I've got people that I listen to that I've never seen before, and then I see their headshot on their website. I'm like, "Oh, That's not what I thought you looks like.
I've come across a few people like this on the radio, where you're thinking they're going to look a certain way and then they look completely different. This is absolutely true. Of course, it's not just that. It's people I've interviewed all over. It's almost like the voice doesn't quite match what your mind would think.
It's funny how the brain works like that, but that's one of the joys of radio. We call it theater of the mind because you're always creating pictures, whether you realize it or not.
That's a good one.
Well, like that's all in the past. That's all just stuff that we've done this last weekend. But coming up this week,
wow,
this is a busy week.
I know.
David, I want you to spread the events out so we don't have to do something every single day.
I know. So I don't even know where to start. So
okay, well, no, we're going to start with tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, selling more of those Cadillac raffle tickets. Okay, just to back up, we're giving away the Cadillac 2020 CT5 Luxury Edition. And to do that, we're going out to as many parishes as we can and also as many Catholic-owned businesses as we can. So tomorrow, we're going to St. Francis of Assisi Religious Gifts. It's a great Catholic bookstore in the Bear Creek area, right over by St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish. And we're going to be there tomorrow morning into early afternoon doing some broadcasts. So if you're listening on the radio or on our app, then you're going to hear us. And if you're in that area, that is a great time to come and purchase your raffle tickets from us directly, because that is how this station gets the most credit for those raffle tickets. And I can, again, shake your hand and show you the store. St. Francis of Assisi Religious Gifts, it's got a lot of good stuff, including that Consecration to St. Joseph book that Father Donald Calloway just came out with. And even better, they have a shrine with first-class relics of Blessed Miguel Pro. So you get to come pray with some first-class relics, shop a little bit, and get your Cadillac raffle tickets.
So it's right there off of Highway 6, just north of Clay. So it's on the inside of Highway 6. So we'll be right there tomorrow.
Okay, so that's one thing. On Wednesday, we have two things.
Okay, Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes, Wednesday, the Holy League for Men. Wyatt, this is something for you. You're a man. I want you to get up early in the morning and come to Annunciation Catholic Church downtown at 5:30 a.m.
And is this... tell me a little more about it. What's the incentive? Why do you remember last time we were talking about
you
this?
just like getting up early, right?
Yeah, you were like, we're joking about being bright and early, but it's still going to be dark out.
It'll be dark,
It'll be very dark, so it's not quite there yet.
Oh, so at Annunciation Catholic Church, as you see the sun come through the stained glass windows as it rises, this glorious thing. But no, that's not the reason to come. This is a Holy League, Holy Hour of Adoration. It's for men because, men really need a challenge to motivate them. If something's too easy, then you lose their attention. So we make it hard on purpose. You got to get up earlier than you would. You got to drive downtown. And it's early enough that even if you don't work downtown, you could still have time to get to work. I mean, I do it. So you get up early. You meet at 5:30 at Annunciation Catholic Church downtown. It's the church across from Minute Maid Park, where the Astros play. And we have a holy hour with confession, spiritual meditations from Father Paul Felix. And then afterwards, there's a mass. And we gather for a breakfast where Larry Massey kind of sponsors that, and we catch up with each other. And it's been growing. We have more and more men coming from further and further away. It is a way, I like to put it as a spiritual kick in the pants. It really just motivates you for the coming day, and it's a great time to get to confession too, because I know it's hard taking your family to confession Saturday afternoons, especially if there's a long line at your parish. Right. You get your own confession in, and the real benefit of this that I think is it reaches the whole city, and we need the men of Houston to stand up and take spiritual leadership over their lives and over their families. And you got to get your heart right first to do that.
The other benefit, I would think, just from the way you're describing, the way you're challenging me to show up, I would say it's probably also just a testament to Christian fellowship, right? I mean, it's important for men who are Catholic to be able to get together and just being able to talk about important issues, right? I mean, we talk about the benefits of the sacraments themselves and adoration, but I would think just being able to get together with a group like that has an impact in of itself.
Yes. The sacrament is there, and where 2 or 3 are gathered, God himself is in their midst. So that is where we are going to be on Wednesday morning early, and that's for the men. Then, right after that, is the Archdiocesan Council of Catholic Women 100-year anniversary party. So going from the men's event to the women's event, Archdiocesan Council of Catholic Women has been serving and teaching and mobilizing women in the Galveston-Houston Archdiocese for 100 years, since 1920. So this is a special year for them. They do this party every year, but this year it's going to be big. The speaker is Kim Brown. She's going to be talking about women's saints. So, we go from our men's event where the men are challenged to take some spiritual leadership, and now the women are going to be gathering together to celebrate women's saints through the years and learn more about the work of the Archdiocesan Council of Catholic Women. And there are fun events. There's cakewalks and parties and auctions and vendors and all kinds of stuff. A lunch at this as well. It's at St. Mary's Seminary this Wednesday. Starts at 9:30, and it's if you are interested in getting tickets, I don't have a website for them, but I do have a phone number. So women, get ready to write this down. This Wednesday, 9:30 a.m., call Lisa Johnson for more information. Here's her number. Lisa Johnson, 713-562-4162. I'll repeat it one more time. Women for the Archdiocesan Council of Catholic Women Party, 100th anniversary this Wednesday. Lisa Johnson, 713-562-4162. You are going to meet some new friends there and have a great time. Okay, so that's 2 things on Wednesday. We've got halfway through the week here.
And we're going to be there, right?
I will be there. I will have a table, so you can also get your Cadillac raffle tickets on Wednesday at the seminary if you'd like to. Then Thursday, we have a prayer breakfast.
Yep, prayer breakfast at Los Cucos at Highway 290 and Jones Road. So John Connell will be the speaker. And so I've known John for about 15, 20 years.
He's got a book, right?
Yeah, he's got a second book.
Oh, so he's got multiple books. And you know what he's going to be talking about?
So just the general, his theme of Catholics mean business.
Catholics mean business. And that's a good tagline for our prayer breakfast, because it's a professionals networking prayer breakfast, as Wyatt can attest to. And this one is for men and women. Women and men, both sexes are invited to come. So John Connell, Catholics Mean Business,
and Father Vincent from Christ the Redeemer will lead us in prayers.
Good. I'd love to meet him. Father Vincent from Christ the Redeemer. This is in the Jersey Village area, but you're all welcome to come, no matter how far you have to drive to get there. It's 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. this Thursday at Los Cucos on 290 and Jones Road. It's only $10 for the breakfast?
Only $10. It's a great breakfast. Los Cucos really does a great job. And so,
I would say, out of all the breakfasts that we do at the different restaurants, I think this Los Cucos is my favorite food.
Oh, okay. All
right.
right.
I think so. Not to denigrate any of the others. They're all delicious, but this one...
It's a good one.
I always look forward to this breakfast.
They're all good in their ways. And so
absolutely.
This is a great one. And so Tim and I will be there. Please join us and register online.
Yes.
At grnonline.com.
Tim, I got to tell you, I'm thinking about showing up to this one too, and I'm going to call you out on this about this food thing. I'm going to follow up and see if this is really.
Well, you have to go sample all of them.
I have to sample everything. That's right. I have to go to all of them and say, is this really what? Tim thinks?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So okay, I'll see you there Thursday, 7 a.m. at Los Cucos. You can register for it. $10 gets you in. grnonline.com. Really, you would pay $10 just for the breakfast, but to include the networking with other Catholics, the business leads you might come up with, the door prizes we give away, and the speaker, you're getting a great value for $10. So go to grnonline.com, look for that banner with the prayer breakfast, and you'll be there. Okay.
And we have a little surprise too. I don't want to give any more details, but at our prayer breakfast, come and see what the surprise will be.
Okay, now you're scaring me, man.
No.
Did you clear this with your superior?
No kidding.
David, that's a good tease, man.
Yeah, so I cleared it with the speaker, so we'll...
Good.
So you'll see.
Excellent. And you know what else? You can also get Cadillac raffle tickets at the prayer breakfast. We'll have them available for you. Okay, but Friday is the big one. That's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
No station events that day. We know that GRN values families, GRN values, marriage, and so, or whatever kind of couples, are out there. Or if you have a vocation to singlehood or a celibate priesthood or celibate religious life, Valentine's Day is a day for you as well. So it's a day for everybody. The Archdiocese has a party at the Hilton West Chase. I was just looking this up on the website there. This is something, marriage enrichment. Yeah, so this is a Valentine's Day date night. No, that's going to be Saturday. So it's the day after Valentine's Day. But it's going to be Saturday at the Hilton West Chase. You can get more information about that at archgh.org. Archgh.org. Scroll down to the calendar and look for Valentine's Day. Cardinal DiNardo is actually going to be the speaker. So if you'd love to take your wife or your husband or your significant other out to a great date night and get some real preparation for marriage or enrich your marriage with spiritual insights from Cardinal DiNardo himself, this is a great way to do it. Just want to plug that. So Friday, Valentine's Day, Saturday, the Steps for Students.
Steps for Students. So, so that's a really huge event for all our Catholic schools. So I think we have roughly over 50 Catholic schools in our listening area. So that's really something to be proud of. Yep. This is a great event that they're hosting.
Yeah. Steps for Students is it's not only a huge event for the Catholic schools, it's also a huge event for the city of Houston, because it's like almost 17,000 people show up for this 5K run-walk race that is actually, it's got official certification, so you can use it as a qualifying race for like marathons and stuff. I'm not a runner, so I don't really know what's necessary for all that, but it's great to see so many people out there, and they're all running, and whether they're doing it for credit or not, they are supporting Catholic schools. This is a huge fundraiser that keeps those Catholic schools able to provide tuition assistance for students that can't necessarily pay for it. So this is very important to support, and we're going to be there, right, doing some little broadcasting from it, kind of showing our support, and also we'll have some Cadillac raffle tickets available on Saturday morning.
Tim, I'm worried you're not pushing the Cadillac raffle tickets here enough.
I know. It's one of those things that kind of slips off my radar, but I got to get it back on there.
Right, you got to get back on there. No, I'm looking forward to the Steps for Students. Thanks again for letting me join you guys, by the way, for the upcoming thing. This is going to be really exciting. This is the first time I'm going to be seeing all of this. My younger brother is actually going to be running in this, so he's looking forward to it as well.
Get some hometown pride. It just swells your heart to see all of Houston turning out like that.
It is. And remind me, Tim, this 5K actually starts around the Co-Cathedral, right?
Yes, starts at the Co-Cathedral. Yeah. There's going to be a Mass there. I think, I don't have the schedule in front of me.
I think at 6:30.
The Mass is at 6:30.
I believe so.
And then the race starts, roughly after that at 8 a.m.
Right.
And so it's just a fun place to be. If you're not running for it, they have a snooze option where you can donate for the race anyway, and then just either not show up or come and just watch the party. There's a lot of people that can't race, but they want to be there, and it's a fun environment.
Or tailgating is what they call it.
Yeah, kind of early morning tailgating.
Exactly. So there's going to be plenty of food, I think. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, at least for the runners. Save some for the runners.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So we've covered almost all of the week, but before our program next Monday, on Sunday, we'll have. I'm going to the Charismatic Center. That's over just southeast of downtown, inside the Loop. The Charismatic Center is I love this parish. You think of charismatic sometimes, at least I do, because that's not my charism, my style. You might think of them as kind of weird. And no offense to any of charismatics listening right now. You probably think of yourself as weird, though. But when I go to this parish, I absolutely feel the Spirit. Mm-hmm. I feel the camaraderie, the bond of the Holy Spirit that binds these people together. And Father Jorge Alvarado is the pastor there. But we are going there again to have Cadillac raffle tickets available for you as close to you as possible. So we've been over on the northwest side and the west side and downtown, and now southeast. Charismatic Center is your chance to come. If you'd like to visit the Charismatic Center for a Mass, then this is your Sunday, because you can also get your Cadillac raffle tickets and support Catholic radio at the same time. David, that covers pretty much the whole week.
That's a lot. That was a lot.
That was a lot. It took us a while to get through that. How much of the program do we have left? Don't worry. We've got more to talk about. We're going to be talking with the Houston Catholic Women's Conference. Got some great guests in the room. But do you have a sports report for us?
I do have a sports report, so let's get into that. Hey, Dave the Sports Guy here, rolling out your Catholic sports report for the Houston area. So let's start with boys high school basketball. Straight Jesuit Crusaders won a tight game over Pearland Oilers. St. Pius X Panthers lost a close one to Village Vikings. Frassati Falcons lost to Westbury Christian Wildcats. St. John, the 23rd Lions, fell short to Village Vikings. Cristo Rey Lions lost to Cypress Christian Warriors. And O'Connell Buccaneers walloped Houston Briarwood. And now in girls high school basketball, Incarnate Word Falcons won a thriller over St. Agnes Tigers. Duchesne Chargers lost to Incarnate Word Falcons. St. Pius X Panthers lost to St. Agnes Tigers. St. John, the 23rd Lions, lost to Incarnate Word Falcons. Frassati Falcons lost to Westbury Christian Wildcats. Cristo Rey Lions lost to Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles. And O'Connell Buccaneers defeated Houston Briarwood. And that's a wrap of this week's sports report for the week of February 3rd. Keep your radio tuned to AM 1430 for next week's recap of Houston's Catholic sports. And follow me on Twitter at Dave Sports Guy. And now back to you, Tim.
I love it. It sounds like a mixed bag this week. Some wins, some losses. But, Catholic schools, we're proud of all of them.
Yeah, now we're getting into the playoffs.
Okay,
so now,
good. We'll see how it really goes down. Maybe we'll get some interviews with some of the coaches or players at some point.
That would be great.
That would be great. No, I want to actually, I don't think I've mentioned it enough. The Cadillac that we're giving away, Cadillac for your soul, dare I say. We are, I want to go a little deeper and tell you kind of why we're doing this. This isn't just to give away a fun car, though we love to do that. We've given away Camaros, we've given away Mustangs. It's really a big fundraiser that the Guadalupe Radio Network does each year. Now, we are 100% listener supported. We are 100% nonprofit, except for the one station in D.C. that can sell commercials, but that's not here in Houston. The Guadalupe Radio Network runs nonprofit stations, and so it really is your station, listener. You are the one that supports this, and we have to come together because this is an evangelistic mission. When you are supporting the Catholic radio station, when you are supporting the Guadalupe Radio Network, you are being an evangelist. You are making a difference, and you are furthering the kingdom of God in as much as He uses the Guadalupe Radio Network to reach more souls with the truth, really. And so this Cadillac, one of you is going to win it, but the purpose of it is really to keep this radio station on the air. And so I really encourage you to go and get those tickets. If you can't come to the Charismatic Center or St. Francis of Assisi or any of our events, and you really want to support us, but you can't make it out, it's okay. You can buy your tickets online, grnonline.com, grnonline.com. And to make sure that we are able to keep the station on the air, I've got a goal set of 2,000 tickets. 2,000 tickets by the date, the closing of the date of the sale, March 2nd. Now, the drawing is going to be on March 6th, and they're going to announce it live on the air with GRN Live, that Friday edition hosted by Dave Palmer. But by March 2nd, we've got to sell 2,000 tickets, and we're not there yet. We are currently sitting around 373 and a little less than a month to go. So I need your help. If you can buy tickets, that's great. But even more important than that, I need your help to sell tickets. And if that for you just means getting that link, grnonline.com, posting it on Facebook and saying, hey, support my radio station, it's my favorite radio station, or email it to your friends and your family and say, I would love for you to win a Cadillac, but I really want you to purchase these tickets to support a good ministry, the Guadalupe Radio Network. Would you do that for me? grnonline.com. And send me an email. Let me know that you do it. On the same website, grnonline.com, you can find my contact information, or just remember it, tim@grnonline.com. Very easy. David's is david@grnonline.com. So we're pretty, and not very imaginative with these. But grnonline.com, if you would share that with your friends and family and just ask them to help support this apostolate, this lay apostolate, where we are spreading the gospel by possibly winning a Cadillac. Would you do that? Thank you very much. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to the Houston Catholic Women's Conference here on the Catholic Lunch Break, hosted by me, Tim Mott, David Magallanes, and our guest co-host of the day, Wyatt Goolsby, right after this break.
Hey, dear listener, you could win a brand new Cadillac, a 2020 Cadillac CT5 Luxury Edition to be exact. It's GRN's 20th anniversary car raffle. Upgrade your style and commute in comfort, all the while supporting the mission of Guadalupe Radio Network. The drawing for the Cadillac is on March 6th, so get your tickets soon. Each entry is only $25, and you get a 5th ticket free when you spend $100. Just go to grnonline.com to purchase your tickets. That's grnonline.com.
Tim Mott here, and I have some great news. To kick the GRN Cadillac raffle into high gear, we have several gifts for the listeners who help us sell the most raffle tickets. If you sell 50 Cadillac raffle tickets, you could get a kielbasa gift basket. Sell 100 tickets, and you could win a weekend retreat or a wine tour. And a large handcrafted rosary suitable for home decor is going to the top seller overall. We have to sell 2,000 tickets by February 28th, so email me now, tim@grnonline.com, tim@grnonline.com.
Who likes food, networking, prayer, and inspiration? Hi, this is John Connell, a parishioner from Christ the Redeemer, and I'll be speaking at the next AM 1430 KSHJ Prayer Breakfast on Thursday, February 13th, starting at 7 a.m. at Los Cucos on Highway 290 in Jones Road. As a speaker, I'll share with you a book I wrote for Catholic professionals called Catholics Mean Business. Join me on Thursday, February 13th, along with Father Vincent. Register online at grnonline.com.
What you need is a deeper, more profound relationship with the Lord through the Holy Eucharist, His body, blood, soul, and divinity. We're inviting you to a pilgrimage, only it's not in Rome. It's at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham with the International Vatican Exhibit of the Eucharistic Miracles, February 15th through the 19th. For more information, contact Mary at Our Lady of Walsingham at 713-447-7141, at 713-447-7141.
You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break, Houston's Catholic radio program, where we talk about nothing but the Catholic stuff that's in Houston. Nowhere else on the radio dial are you going to find a program with that specific of a mission. My name is Tim Mott, your host, joined by Wyatt Goolsby and David Magianes. I didn't mention the cost of the raffle tickets, but you'll see it on the website when you go to grnonline.com. You could win that Cadillac for as little as $25. It's $25 a ticket. You get a 5th ticket free if you buy 4. Buy 4, get 1 free. Anyway, joining us here in the studio is Leslie Najam, the one of the foundresses of the Houston Catholic Women's Conference. Leslie, welcome.
Thank you.
And with you is Melissa Bishop. Melissa, are you original founder, or are you just really working at this?
No. I went to lunch with Leslie, and I opened my mouth, and Leslie said, "Come work at the Women's Conference."
There you go. There you go.
That could never happen.
No, that sounds just like you, Leslie. Did she do that today? Or he's like, "Oh, we got a radio show. Let's grab Melissa and bring her over."
That's right.
No. So, ladies, this is not your first time at the station, but this is your first time on the Catholic Lunch Break, because this show is still fairly new. But let's introduce you to the audience. So we'll start with you, Leslie. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Well, I have lived in Katy since the Pilgrims came to America.
No.
And we raised our 4 kids there. And I have my education. I have my undergraduate degree in deaf education and my master's in social work, and my specialty is treating parent-child relationships. So as soon as I started having children, I decided to stay home with my kids and raise them, and I started giving parenting seminars in the Houston area, greater Houston area.
Neat.
So that's what I do.
So have you always been Catholic?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at least
the Lord's been good to me. I mean, I got an opportunity to suffer a little bit when I was a teenager by having to go away to boarding school because there was no American high school where I lived overseas. And so it really solidified my faith in the Lord. And
wow, okay.
Blessed.
That's good. That's good. And Melissa, we need to learn more about you. So, what's your story?
My life is chaos. I have 4 kids. I stay home with them. I homeschool them. And then I do all sorts of other stuff in between. I'm finishing up a master's in theology. I've done all my coursework. I just have to take my comp. So I appreciate prayers in July, if anyone wants to pray for me in July. And we just day by day. Have a new baby, so she's 4 months. We stay busy. I feel like chaos is appropriate.
Well, I think knowing you, even in the midst of all your chaos, you're able to be very involved in churches and masses and all over Houston. So what's your home parish?
My home parish is St. Bartholomew, but I'm like everywhere.
I know you go everywhere. Leslie, what's your home parish?
Epiphany of the Lord.
Epiphany. So you're both out in Katy there. But we need to talk about kind of the women's conference. So you work with the Houston Catholic Women's Conference, and this is your 4th year for this conference. Is that correct?
No, this is our 7th or 8th.
Wow.
But it's our 4th year at Our Lady of Walsingham.
Okay, so Our Lady of Walsingham, a little more centrally located than Katy, easier for everyone to get to. What is, how have you, what was the story behind starting this conference?
Well, my friend Mary invited me about 8 years ago, I would say, up to Oklahoma City and to go to a women's conference. And I went there and I'm looking around and there's hundreds of women. And I said, are we sure this isn't Baptist? Because Catholics don't go to things. And so I talked to the organizers, and they said that was actually a small year.
Oh, wow.
And that they have hundreds of women that come from all over. So I thought to myself, well, we need to have a conference in Houston. I mean, we're Houston. For
exactly. As we were saying earlier, it's one of the biggest, most vibrant archdioceses in the country.
Right. Yeah. So I came back and went to our parish priest over, at that time we were going to St. Bart's, and I asked him for permission because I'm a big believer in the protection of being under authority. And he said, well, you have to call the diocese. So I did, and oddly enough, the secretary for Cardinal DiNardo was Father Tom Lamb, who's now the pastor at Epiphany.
Now he's your pastor at Epiphany there.
Right. But I had only spoken to him on the phone a couple times. I asked for permission, and he checked, and he called me back, and he said, yes, you can have a women's conference. So that was really the way we started. And we didn't know anything of what we were doing. I mean, I went to the bank, and they said, I need to open an account. Well, what are you? And I said, I'm a woman who wants to have a conference. And they go, no, like, in the government, what are you? What is your tax status? So I had so much stuff we had to learn.
Start from ground zero, square one, and just figure it out. Yeah. Well, I'm fascinated that you envisioned it as a conference for the city, like the Houston Catholic Women's Conference, not just for your parish. You didn't think, I should get the women of my parish together at St. Bart's, and we can have a St. Bart's Women's Conference. You're thinking Houston, the city of Houston, all the parishes need a women's conference. Is that right?
It is. And I've always said from the beginning, I just calculate in my little brain how many million Catholic women there are. I'm going, we should be able to fill up Reliant. I mean, this is ridiculous. So we need to be evangelized and know our faith and fall in love with Jesus and fall in love with the truth so that we can fill up Reliant.
Yeah.
We can change the world.
Yeah, you said Catholics don't go to things. I think we are changing that.
I do think that too.
The first half of this program, we were just talking about all the different events that people are showing up to.
True.
And what do you get out of this conference, Melissa? Like when you got involved, how many years ago was that?
So I got involved after the first year.
Okay.
So it didn't take Leslie long to recruit me. I when I'm there, or what do I do?
Well, just like what do you personally get out of like the whole process of planning it and attending?
My favorite thing is these women that come up to me after several years of not having gone to confessions, and they tell me that they just had the most awesome confession ever, and that's probably my favorite. So I love organizing the priests and the confessions and everything. For the women's conference, I get to hear, I've heard a couple adoration stories, like really cool adoration stories. But doing that and hearing other people's awesome experience has been probably the greatest gift the conference has given me. Just because I love to see the fruits of all the work that everyone puts into it. So what I get out of it, okay, whatever. But all these other people are getting all this really cool stuff out of it too, so it just makes it it just makes it really awesome.
Seeing a lot of the fruit that comes from the work that you put into it. God really blesses that.
Yeah.
I love that confession is one of the things that really makes that difference there, and that your conference includes confession. That's very, very important because not enough people, women and men, take advantage of that sacrament that, wipes the slate clean, reconciles you to God, and really sets your life on a new trajectory every time you go. So that's huge. That's absolutely huge.
And Tim, I just want to jump in and also say something about this, the power of confession. It is so important. I'm so happy that you guys are doing this because that's one of the things that so many Catholics tend to lax on, right? We tend to kind of put away or say, I can go to confession anytime, but then you don't realize it's important to go consistently.
Yeah.
And it's just such a powerful reminder of that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, can I just say,
please do.
From the beginning, confession has always been central, because I always think in my mind that if every person went to Mass at least once a week or daily and went to confession once a month, we would be able to close prisons. We would be able to have probably 50% less sick people. There would be so many things that would be better in the world. And confession is just so key. And every single year I push confession at the conference. I say the same thing every year. Melissa can attest to this. I always say there are women here today who haven't gone to confession since Jesus ascended into heaven. And so I encourage everyone to go, and it is so important.
It really is. So you have a very strong spiritual focus at this conference. And now,
I think that's one of the things that really makes our conference different than other conferences. And I remember a meeting we had, and we're all meeting, discussing the conference, and Mass was going to be really difficult to have that year. And one woman suggested, well, maybe we just don't have Mass this year. And my heart just stopped. And Leslie goes, no, we're having Mass. And I was like, yes. But I really think that's what makes our conference unique and very different than everything else out there, is because we put God in the sacrament center, and then we surround it with other good stuff.
Okay, so let's talk about some of that other good stuff there. I'd love to hear kind of more about what the experience of this conference is. We've already mentioned that the sacraments of both Mass and reconciliation are going to be there. What else does this conference involve?
Well, we are women after all, so we do need to go shopping.
Of course.
So we have good vendors.
You said it, not me.
Mm-hmm. We have good vendors. Well, because I also became convinced a few years ago that beautiful things, part of our heritage as Catholics is beauty, And, I think that having beautiful things in your environment is a reminder of God and lifting our minds to a higher level.
Okay.
So, we try to have vendors with lovely Catholic items.
Like jewelry or art, or what are we thinking?
Well, first of all, beautiful jewelry and art. Mm-hmm. But we have vendors that will say, I have all these gorgeous things, these plaques and things for the walls and crucifixes. And I have sweatshirts, not sweatshirts, no, more like neutral clothing, like, I don't know, something with nothing on it, just a shawl or something. And we go, no, we only want Catholic stuff.
Only
it has
Catholics?
To be Catholic.
Oh, gotcha.
It's got to be Catholic. We're on the Catholic plan.
This is so Catholic, beautiful items. They're going to have books there as well, maybe?
We try to have a book vendor every year.
Okay.
It's not as easy to get people to come from bookstores because it's very disruptive to their business.
That makes sense.
But we're very careful to pick books that are orthodox, that are just, edifying. Fulton Sheen is one of my favorites, so I'm going to make sure we have some of his this year. And so we may not have an official book vendor, but we do make that attempt every year.
Okay,
Books are very
so
important.
There's lots of beauty and educational shopping. Mm-hmm. There's also the sacraments of Mass and reconciliation.
Right.
This is a one-day conference, though. How are you going to fit it all in? What else is there?
We have a tight schedule. This year we have a wonderful blessing, which is that Bishop Lopes, the Bishop of the Ordinariate of St. Peter, is going to be our keynote speaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so we're really happy about that. And
he's brilliant. If you have not heard, if you have never heard this man speak, you've got to come because he's a phenomenal speaker.
Some people might
wholly intelligent, and he just like knows everything. Like every time I hear him speak, I like wonder what his IQ is.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's high. Some people may remember his consecration as a bishop here in Houston at the Co-Cathedral. It was just a few years ago. Yeah, so he's a wonderful get. I'm really glad that he's speaking there. It kind of helps that you're meeting at his home base there at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham. That's where his chair is. So I'm sure that makes it easy on his schedule. But that's great. So Bishop Lopes is speaking. Anybody else?
yes, we have Sister Thomas Aquinas of the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist, and they've spoken at our conference before. And we're just so blessed to have them again.
Wow.
So she's going to speak.
And this is Sister Thomas Aquinas' first year. We've had her other sisters come in the past, and she is also phenomenal. Very fun, and even just around the campus of Our Lady of Walsingham, she's, oh, your daughter has the cutest shoes. She has like these R2D2 light up shoes on, and she's like, oh, I love your daughter's shoes. She's just a fun, pleasant person to be around.
Wow. Okay. So that's a great lineup just right there. Anybody else besides those?
Yes, we have Leonora Butau. I think I'm saying that right. She is a beautiful woman who works at the John Paul II Institute, and she has agreed also to come and speak. So we have 3 talks. We have what we call open time in the middle of the day when the women can go to confession, adoration, shopping. We're also going to try this year to have a rosary at the shrine. In the middle of that time, we'll have a scheduled time for the rosary. We may also include a chaplet. My friend Mary, who had originally invited me to Oklahoma, she and her husband are one of our vendors, and she will be coming down, and they also produce rosary CDs. So they have a chaplet that's new.
Well, I just want to follow up on that, Leslie. With all the prayers and all the participation in the sacraments you guys are going to do, I'm sure that the saints are going to be brought up and talking about female saints and that kind of thing. So I want to follow up with you on that and just ask you both, Leslie and Melissa, who your favorite saint is, or if you have a special saint in your heart. For me, it's always been the Archangel Gabriel because he's my confirmation saint, and I've always had a connection. But I want to start with you, Leslie. If you have a favorite saint or saint that you're special devotion to, I'd love to hear about it.
Well, of course, Mother Mary's my favorite, but I have a real attachment to St. Francis of Assisi. I read a book about his life by Omer Engelbert. It's an old book. I read it years ago. Not many things can remove my appetite or my need to sleep. And I was just so overcome by that book. And so anyway, I love St. Francis, and so he's my guy.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Melissa, what about you?
Do you want a list? Like, do I have to limit it?
You got a whole lot of them that you talk to.
Oh, yeah. Probably some of my favorites are, I call them the Teresas, St. Teresa of Avila and St. Therese Lisieux. Those probably I top the charts. And then, at my house with 4 kids, we're losing stuff. So if you're asking who I'm talking to a lot, St. Anthony, where did this end up? So yeah, I have a lot of favorites.
That's fantastic.
Do you have a patron for the conference? Have you chosen one, or is it like, everyone?
We did that for a while. We hadn't done it for a while. We're just happy we have a chaplain.
Oh, yeah. Good. So, Bishop Lopes is a great centerpiece for that lineup. Now, we should tell the people that are listening what the details are. So we've already mentioned the location, Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham, but date, times, cost, where to register, all that. What's the date of the conference?
It's March 14th.
The Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Okay. So and is it all day, like, or just morning, just evening? What was it?
The goal that we have is to have a one-day conference that will make a full day. Well, the full day for the bulk of the day. It's from 9 until 4, and it makes it easy for women who we have a hard time disconnecting from our lives. So they can come in the morning. They don't have to get a hotel room. They don't, the most they have to do is take care of childcare because we don't have babysitting, and just have the whole day to themselves up until 4 o'clock. So that's what we do.
Okay, so it sounds almost like a mini retreat there.
Yes, it is.
A way to kind of get away,
It
but
is.
also connect at the same time with other women. Okay, how do people register?
You can go to the website. It's houstoncwc.com. So just type that in your browser, houstoncwc.com, and then you'll click on the registration link. Nice and simple.
Is there any kind of deadline that people need to be aware of? March 14th is the day. Can they register all the way up to the conference?
Our regular registration started today, and it's from February 10th until March 8th.
Okay, so they have to register before March 8th.
Right. And then if we will put online, if there's still spots open, people can come and register at the door.
Now, how many are you expecting to come? Is this multiple hundreds here?
Yes, we usually get, we get the maximum that we can fill the room that we have at Our Lady of Walsingham. So we're hoping that we're going to have about 280.
Okay, so that's the capacity there. So people really need to get in on this early before those spots fill up. Because
we sold out last year.
Yeah.
We did.
We sold out last year.
Well,
so
I know that you would hate to leave Walsingham, but maybe you need to start looking for a bigger venue there.
I don't think we will.
Oh, okay,
They're so good to us. They're so lovely. I mean, unless we find someplace that's a little bit.
But this sounds like a good problem to have.
A very good problem to have.
We're interested.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what makes a women's conference different than a men's conference? We've done a couple men's conferences. I know there's a couple coming up. One at St. Bart's, Knights of the King. Bishop Lopes is speaking at that one too, by the way. So I'll get to hear him at that one. I won't have to crash in the women's conference. But what makes a women's conference different than a men's conference? Like, men are always kind of, you have to really pull them out of their shell. They're reluctant to show up for things.
our conference is very elegant. I feel like that's a good term for it.
That's a great
Leslie's
term,
nodding,
actually.
so I feel like I'm good. Our conference is very elegant.
Yeah. Elegant is a good word. What do you mean when you say elegant? Like, what are the things that make you think of elegant?
Well, Walsingham certainly, that's why it's so hard to leave, because it is the perfect environment for our conference. You can go online and look up pictures of Our Lady of Walsingham, and if you would like a conference that takes place there, like, that's why it's perfect for us. Is
Very
because
beautiful.
The beauty of the shrine and the church, it's all just gorgeous. And so I think our conference takes that type of environment, and it's in the conference too. So it's not just the environment.
It's very Catholic and very the fact that they have nuns on site, even if they don't present for us, is just, I mean, nuns in habits.
How do you, both of you are mothers, you've talked about your families. Melissa, you have young children now, and Leslie, what's your youngest?
Oh, my youngest is David, and he's 26.
Okay, so your children are grown. You're different stages of life here, but how do mothers of families relate to consecrated virgins and nuns there?
I think they have a lot of natural respect for them. We've had sisters speak at least 5 of the conferences, or maybe 4 of them, and they have a lot of respect for them, and they know that. I mean, if you've got a Catholic mentality, you understand that motherhood is way beyond whether you give birth to a child or whether you nurture the life that's around you, too. So motherhood's a big thing.
Really, the sisters there are kind of have a spiritual motherhood of their own.
Of course, yes.
So do you find that that's like a mutual, kindred spirit when you interact with them?
Yes.
They have a lot of wisdom to share with us.
And they're real people too. Like, I think sometimes we think, oh, those nuns in habits, they don't talk to people, they're so holy, and they are so holy. But they're like, they converse. They're like, oh, hi, how are you? And they're friendly. And
I've heard that they get really competitive at board games too.
Oh, really?
No idea.
I don't know if it was at our conference, but one of them said that she was scared to lead the rosary because she would always mess up something. And I just thought, that's perfect. This is what I need to hear. Like,
Okay, so
I just want to echo what Melissa's saying. I think it's great to be able to relate to them on such a personal level, because I have one of my cousins is actually in the Dominican Sisters Mary Mother of the Eucharist. So I completely agree with that. When you can just kind of sit down, she's still my cousin. I obviously refer to her as sister, but it's still very much being able to talk about all the Catholic issues, all personal issues, what's going on in your lives. I think it really helps to have that connection.
And so the other thing too is I'm listening. So it sounds like a great conference. And so for the women that are listening, man, please sign up. But for the men that are listening, and man, you're struggling to find a St. Valentine's Day gift for your wife.
Ooh, I like the way you think.
This would be an awesome gift to give to your wife. Send her to this conference, and you take care of the kids in the house. Send your wife to this conference.
We also get her the flowers too.
Yes. Don't neglect the flowers.
Don't forget flowers.
You can do both, and we are Catholic here. So, Leslie Najim and Melissa Bishop, thank you very much for coming to the Catholic Lunch Break today. Tell us about the Catholic Women's Conference, Houston Catholic Women's Conference. One more time, the date and the website.
it's March 14th, and the website is HoustonCWC.com. That's HoustonCWC.com.
Yes. Okay. So we are coming to the end of another show here, but there's something very important I need to mention. We're giving away a Cadillac. If you haven't heard, the 2020 Cadillac CT5 Luxury Edition, supporting the Guadalupe Radio Network's evangelistic mission. $25 a ticket, buy 4, get 1 free at grnonline.com. David, this is a great show. Thank you very much for running the board, helping me put this together, keeping us on track here with all the stuff we got to talk about.
Hey, it really helps when we have great guests.
Mm-hmm, it really does.
And a really good co-host as well.
Yeah.
So
I
thank you,
appreciate
Wyatt.
that.
And,
so many great topics today, right? Sacraments, saints. I mean, it was great to be able to get so much.
Sacraments, saints, and Houston Catholic events. If we haven't blown your ears off with those, then we haven't done our job. But thank you very much for joining us today and taking time from your lunch break and being with us during our lunch break here on the air at the Catholic Lunch Break on AM 1430. Again, those raffle tickets are available at grnonline.com. There's even some stuff we didn't get to. We didn't mention the Gulf Coast Catholic Men's Conference, February 29th, Fullness of Truth Conference the same day, February 29th, Knights of the King Men's Conference. We did mention that one a little bit, St. Bart's, March 21st. So there's a lot coming up. You can always stay tuned to the Catholic Lunch Break every Monday at noon to be able to keep up with what's going on in Houston. Thank you to Wyatt Goolsby for joining us, David Magianis, Leslie and Melissa, and Jill Matthews for running our Facebook video feed. Thank you very much. Join our Facebook group at GRN Houston. GRN Houston is where you can interact with us, post what's going on in your parish, in your family, in your Catholic community, and maybe meet some new friends there. GRN Houston on Facebook. We'll see you next Monday for another Catholic Lunch Break here on AM 1430 KSHJ.